Welcome to the Visitor Parking Podcast. Righteous Rides provides vans to missionaries when they're in the U.S. on furlough. We hope you enjoy this story from one of our recent guests.
Welcome to Righteous Rides. With us here today is Adam. Adam, tell us a little bit about what brings you into Righteous Rides today.
So my family and I are on furlough, and so while we're here, we're going to be using one of the cars here from Righteous Rides. This will be our third time using them.
Wow, so have you had good experiences with them in the past? I guess you have since you're back for more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always been a great blessing to be able to use their vans, so we're excited to be able to do it again.
Yeah, where have you been serving, and what is God currently doing in your ministry?
Yeah, so my wife and I and our three kids have been in Indonesia for 18 years.
Okay.
My three kids have grown up there. So our main focus is church planting and mobilization. So we work with other national partners to do church planting, sharing the gospel, discipleship, leadership development. But the ultimate goal is always to get to church. And then working with the more established churches, there's actually a few seminaries in Indonesia, and working with them to mobilize believers to not only go to some of the 45 unreached people groups of Indonesia, but also out across Asia.
Okay, that's really cool. What have been some of the challenges in your ministry recently or in the past?
Yeah, so I think a lot like many places in the world, in the traditional church, it's a cultural Christianity. No one argues what the Bible says about sharing the gospel and being on mission and what we're called to do as followers of Christ. But of course, there's always those cultural temptations to become lethargic and lax and fearful, and even things that aren't truthful, we begin to believe them, the lies from our enemy. So one of the big things is in the local church even, although there's probably about 3 or 4 million Christians in Indonesia, the world's largest Muslim country, many of them are fearful or very hesitant to be involved in outside ministries of the church. The main one being sharing the gospel with those around them.
Wow, that's a really interesting challenge that you've come across. What are you looking forward to while you're on home assignment?
Yeah, so we're always blessed to be able to have rest and travel. We're actually about to head out to the west in California just next week to visit some of the national parks there. So that's one of the huge, one of our hobbies as a family is to go to national parks. We did it 3 years ago when we were here as well. So we're really looking forward to that. We're going to go to Florida as well to visit some friends and stay in a beach house near Daytona. So those are some of the things we're looking forward to. And of course, connecting with our friends and family and local churches while we're here as well. It's always exciting.
It sounds like you have some really fun plans, like visiting national parks. That's so cool. I'm glad that you're able to build some rest time into a busy furlough. How long will you be stateside before going
About
back to
6
Indonesia?
months.
Okay, yeah. Awesome. How can we be praying for you as a ministry and just personally in general?
So our oldest is 16. He's about to be a junior in high school. And as mom and dad, it's never too early to begin to think about college. And of course, all those variables. So we're going to be praying through that and maybe visiting some campuses just to let him get a feel of what it's like on campus. I mentioned rest and, kind of reprieve from the field, just that we would get that needed rest, spiritual rest, emotional rest, but also have sweet times of connection with some of our local churches that we've partnered with over the years. We're looking forward to that. And then as we're away with those on the field, our national partners, as they continue to serve, the Lord just continue to use them in their boldness as they train up leaders as well. One of the big challenges right now is leadership development. We have lots of house groups meeting, but we need local leadership, local ownership, because to get to real church, the outsiders can't continue to lead. So those would be some of the big prayer needs right now.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. You mentioned that your son's going to be graduating high school soon and moving on to college. Do you have any advice for other parents who have kids who will be graduating and moving off the field?
Actually, I'm looking for some good advice.
Okay.
But, obviously, we're just praying a lot. We always talk to those who've gone before, who have older kids. We're very blessed to have lots of colleagues who have older kids, and they, give us their wisdom, and hopefully we can not only learn from the things that did well, but some of the mistakes maybe that were made as well along the way. And so I guess that would be my advice to anyone.
Thank you so much, Adam, for coming on the Visitor Parking Podcast.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure.